Hey folks, I'm going to try to answer Supra West's thread, and I want to apologize if it appears that I'm overlooking any threads. I'm not. The vinyl community is very, very active, and there's a lot going on, and much as I like to try and comprehensively participate, I can't keep up with everything, and so there's some threads that I have not responded to, and hopefully I will eventually. But I also have my own agenda here, you know what I'm saying, as far as what I'd like to, share of my collection and my thoughts, as we all do. So I like these questions, and so I thought I would go ahead and answer this right now. Super West, good questions. Are there any famous groups or artists from your hometown? Tell us any early days or stories. I can tell a bunch of stories. I'll just tell a few. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Buddy Miles is from Omaha, Nebraska. He played drums with Jimi Hendrix and Wilson Pickett and just about everybody else on the Chitlin circuit as he was coming up. My family, the Higgins Johnson family, is a musical family and also religious family. My dad was, and both my parents were musicians. My mom's dad had a church, a Baptist church here in town. So we're notorious in some respects that we have the holier than thou grandpa side of the family, and then there's my dad's side, who was a reckless, crazy jazz musician who would screw anything on two legs, which is the truth. And I love you, Dad. I'm telling the truth. My dad's passed away. Much respect to him. I love to tell things how they are. So anyway, the Miles family and the Higgins family were tight. My dad, if he were here, could tell you probably about wiping Buddy Miles' ass when he was a little baby. I can tell you that I used to hang out over at Buddy's parents' house, and Buddy's cousin, the Penningtons, were their kid. John Pennington was an only child. He was one of my best friends for a time, like from maybe 4th through 6th, 7th grade. And that was the time that Buddy was playing with Jimmy and Band of Gypsies. And then I remember when they got their promo copy of Expressway to Your Skull, produced by Jimi Hendrix. And the Penningtons were appalled by what Buddy was doing. And I was just a kid, pre-drug and everything, just a complete straight kid, just freaked out about records and music. I loved it. And when I saw the first time I saw the cover, the solarized picture of Buddy all grimacing playing the drums, I was saying, whoa, what is this shit? I was blown away, and they were embarrassed. So the first time I recall meeting Buddy was years later when he came through with the Buddy Miles Express. And of all things, Weather Report opened for Buddy Miles. I got to meet Joe Zawinul. Wayne Shorter. I wanted to meet Joe Zawinul. I couldn't, but I got to meet Wayne Shorter at that time. And then I met Buddy then. And since then, I've seen Buddy many times. Another Omaha band is 311, more recent. Nick Hexum and... I can't think of the drummer's name. I worked with his mom for years, and Peanut and those guys. Well, they'll tell you if you could, and because they've told me since. I remember when they were just kids, but they were part of our fan base for the punk rock band I was in, RAF. And I saw 311 one time years ago when they came back through town and did a concert at one of our halls, and I got backstage. And if I recall correctly, and I do, Nick Hexum made a big deal about the fact that I was there and was shouting out to, hey, everybody, this is one of the cats. If it wasn't for his band, RAF, we wouldn't be here today. And that really, I loved it. That was a very nice thing to experience. So those are two stories about question number one. Number two, who is your favorite album producer? I don't have a favorite producer. I've gone through periods where I really paid attention. And nowadays, I'm interested, but I get a glut. For a time there, post-punk, Martin Hannett was the man for me. I love that big drum sound that he, in my opinion, trademarked in the 80s with Joy Division and the other bands he was working with through Factory Records and Factory Benelux. He's someone whose production I really enjoyed. See, I'm having a brain fart here. I guess I would have to say Brian Eno, in that I like listening to Eno produced records because there are subtle things that just occur all of a sudden as you're listening. All of a sudden, these aspects of the way the music has been recorded or something just all of a sudden emerge. I love that about Eno's production. Okay, so that's my answer. Number 3, what kind of cartridge did you use? I love music, but I'm not an audiophile. I used to pay attention to that stuff when I was a kid. Right now, I couldn't tell you. I have an Ion Profile Pro USB turntable. A friend gave me a Technics turntable. It's under my bed. It needs to be fixed, and I need to buy a cartridge for it. It's not that I don't appreciate good quality equipment. It's just like I'm a musician, but I'm not a gearhead. If someone asks me what kind of bass you play, all I can tell you is I have a Dean, I have an Ibanez, I have 2 Ibanezes, I have a Gibson. You know, that's me. Number 4, tell us some song or album titles that you like the title. Once again, without spending time looking at records so I could remember, one title that comes right away to mind that I've always liked is Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy by Eno. That's a great title. I know there's many other titles that I just can't think of that I like. Great question, though. I wanted to answer right away, because if I wait and wait and wait, it'll just be such a backlog of things to say and answer thread-wise that I'll never get to it. So that's why I'm doing this. Number 5, show us one of our album covers that you think are sexy. Right away, what came to mind were Roxy Music album covers, and here's a couple. You know, Stranded, Classy, Sensual, definitely appealing to the male libido. I'm not female, so I don't know about whether or not this is hot to girls. I bet you it is. And one other, just for the record, is For Your Pleasure. Is that Amanda Lear? Is that her name, the model? But just the profile, the aspect of beauty and danger that you see, and mystery all at the same time. That's sexy as hell. Alrighty, those are my answers, Super Wes. Thanks for the good questions.